here with Ace Attorney, Spirit of Justice, back in the investigation section of this particular case. We're going to find some evidence here that will prove unequivocally that Maya did neither murder, and that I won't get beheaded, and neither will Maya. And both of these are agreeable scenarios. And to speed these agreeable scenarios along, I have notes. So first of all, Gigi, Easy, Nayuta, and Dats used to date, hence why he calls him Yudi. Apollo is Dats' long-lost brother, hence why Apollo's on a first-name basis with said Mahdi. Regarding this case, if Beh'leeb was the killer and a rebel, maybe she did this only so that they would offer her to do the right at the palace, and she's like gone, and she poisoned the queen when they went to do that little rite together in that other side room, and that's why there was a whole... That's why they put emphasis on that at all. And so the queen's gonna it's like latent poison. She'll die in like 3 days and no one will know who did it. But it'll be like the last case is the murder of the queen. And, once I read my own handwriting, that explains everything, because if the house was locked when the warning letter was sent and neither of the two deceased men sent it and Maya didn't send it, no, but for real, I guess there's still the possibility that Pere was the one who sent it, but he's since been killed. I am expecting that whoever killed Pere was worried he would testify once he was done praying. So presumably it was like the real killer just straight up just walked on out of the inner sanctum, past Pere Zeh'lot and all those other people. But Pere Zeh'lot was the one who saw them or something, and then so they killed him before he was done praying so that he wouldn't be able to testify after that point. I don't know. Anyway, if even one bit of that crazy barrage of theories is correct, I'll be proud. And a little surprised. Now then, the scene of the crime is the logical place to start. If I recall correctly, the body is found at the Plaza of Devotion. And we're back here with Rafa, who we've basically invited to come along with us, that she won't be so upset about the way everything's turning out. Because even though she needed a wake-up call, she didn't need depression. I'm a lawyer still. Use the same thing here. So one thing I'm most curious about is the second autopsy report, the one for Pere Zeh'lot, although I guess all we're going to find out is that he was stabbed with a knife at before noon. No new thoughts on any of the evidence, so let us examine and then chat. I don't know that we're gonna see loads around here, but let's talk about this temple. You remember that time you almost got a child convicted for murder? I'm not a Khura'inist, but maybe if I prayed with all my might, the Holy Mother will help me. Oh, am I kidding? I have to figure out how to solve this case myself. I wish it were so easy as asking for help from above. Not even autoplay can save us now, Nick. Because apparently it doesn't actually solve the case for you. Who even knew? I can hear the monks' prayers all the way over here. Maybe the Holy Mother would answer mine if I slipped it in with theirs. Here goes. Please let me save Maya Fey. It's probably worth a shot even still, I guess you're right. What's the harm? I look a little haggard in my reflection. It's like the water showing me how I feel on the inside. Wait, what am I doing? I have to stay strong, especially for Maya. Yes, being told you're gonna be executed in a day is pretty dispiriting, but let's try and keep a smile on our face, because a lawyer only cries once it's all over, or is that the Mother 3 thing? No crying till the end. Sorry, it's the same quote, basically. So what would you do if you were told you were gonna die in a day? Barbhead! You have an investigation to conduct, do you not? Get on with it! Yes, but why does she always have to be like this? What? Would you have preferred that tour guide boy tag along instead? Huh? Oh, It would appear I have read your mind most accurately. That smile of hers is downright scary. Sometimes I agree. She's growing on me a little. Sometimes when she smirks like that, I'm like, you little rascal. And then sometimes when she smirks like that, I'm like, no, don't smile at the murder. That boy has grown far too close to you. He will require re-education if he persists in befriending lawyers. Re-education? What exactly does that entail? First, he must meditate upon Lady Kee'ra for 48 hours in the prayer pose. How is that re-education? It sounds more like torture to me. It sounds like dehydration and malnourishment. Alright, well that was thoroughly fruitless. Well actually, let's check some of the other areas first. Can we talk to Maya at the detention center? About anything? Not as yet. The bell has got a different examination thing on it. The guard will come over if I ring this, right? I have no need for such an implement. Guard! Yes, your benevolence. It is my honor to be at your service. Now you try it, barbed head. Oh, okay. Mr. Guard, could I please speak with you? It seems he will not respond to a lawyer's call. Somehow I saw that coming a mile away. Astonishing. Phoenix must be clairvoyant. There's no other explanation. Let's just examine around any old place that isn't, the crime scene first. Just to get- Whoa, my god! Ah! What the heck was that? Honestly, what sort of grown man jumps at the call of a warba'ad? That was the... And I was joking about the... What? That roar came from this bird? It is a bird, right? Well... Give me a moment. Lena. Yes, actually a decent form of species of dinosaurs. The warba'ad has many natural enemies. Therefore, it mimics a lion's roar in order to scare them away. But you did not know that, did you? And you call yourself a lawyer. You didn't know either until you asked Nana. Enough! You lame brain! Lame brain, that's a new one for me. Teenager's gonna teenager, as he said, or whatever it is he's actually said. It's a little weird that the prayer flags just get white as they go towards here. I guess it was just easier to animate when it was on, like, a 3DS, which is, like, 200 by 400 pixels. Have you never seen a yak before, Barbed-head? I thought it was an ox, if I'm honest. Only in zoos. Well, in Khura'In, they play an important part in our daily lives. Therefore, they must be treated with kindness and with respect. Hey! What are you doing? I command you to cease that at once! Wow, that yak is really licking and nuzzling the daylights out of Rafa. The foul beast! You have made a mess of my royal raiment! Gah! For that I shall make a leather coat out of you later! What was that about? Treating them with kindness and respect? Ken? Do as I say, not as I do, barbed head! The gate to temple. Jeez, I didn't realize it was so high up. Oh, I did know at some point, but I guess I forgot. At the top of those stairs is my home away from home. Just looking at them is making my back ache. What are they selling over there? It looks tasty, whatever it is. I hope it's food. Was that your stomach? No! That was not me. That was the cry of the warba'ad. Would you like a magatama? Would you like a magatama? Am I not enough? I am not hungry! Why can't some people just admit when they're hungry? I, fortuitously, am not hungry because I ate way too much yesterday and a little bit this morning. Look at all the carrots and potatoes and stuff. So one bountiful harvest. Why, this Japam looks positively delicious. I think I shall take this one. Your benevolence, you can't just take things without paying. Shopkeeper, you will receive your payment from this barbed-headed foreigner. Thank you, barbed-headed foreigner. Peasants paying for princesses? This place is absolutely feudal. This was your first clue, was it? It's a poster. That's the Plume Punisher, Khura'In's famous action hero. I guess we're not the only country with superheroes like that. I can't read the sign, but this looks like a souvenir shop. It's too bad I don't have time to do some shopping right now. But I'll have to stop by here before I go back home. I'm sure everyone's expecting something. Especially Trucy. You might have at least given her a phone call since she was... But I guess you've been busy as well. Keep that hopeful spirit up, Nick. You will be coming back home before long. I guess we can just wander back to the Inner Sanctum, sure. He's giving this, I already searched your stuff, so I guess nothing's changed since yesterday. They say the moon would be directly over Mount Pony Pony. I guess they mean that from looking from the Inner Sanctum. Because if it was literally, like, directly above Mount Pony Pony, like if you looked straight up from Mount Pony Pony, you'd see it in the sky, it would be too high to cast shadows at all. Well, clear shadows of that clarity, I would imagine. Right? Because then the light would... It would be such a harshly downward angle. Anyway. So I assume they mean that the moon was, like, in that above this distant peak over here. And hence there's moonlight coming from this way. It actually doesn't matter at the moment. Anything more to do or say at the High Priest's house? Oh, hello. Hi, Beh'leeb, you're one of my suspects. Was this photograph of the whole family here earlier? I don't think it was. I think it was just Prey over there. But you can see the four of them sitting there. Prey, and then Beh'leeb, and then Trust, and then Maya. I'd like to look at that photograph, see if anything sticks out. May 11th, High Priest's house. Hello. I'm sorry to bother you again, but... Oh, it's you. Barbed-head! You're not contemplating casting suspicion upon Lady Beh'leeb, are you? She lost her beloved husband, and now Acolyte Zeh'lot, who is like a son to her! Of course I'm not. But since she was close to both victims, I wanted to hear what she has to say. Very well. And there's the fact that Kee'ra didn't attack Mrs. Inmee. It probably means she isn't a rebel. Is this about poor Prey? Oh, I'm sorry, but I don't think I can talk about that right now. But what about Maya? She's innocent. Maya? I heard she was found guilty. First my dear husband, and now Prey. Mrs. Inmee, you don't really believe that Maya's the killer, do you? I don't know. But that was the verdict, so what else can I believe? What am I to do? The verdict was already reached in your husband's case, but the truth of the matter is yet to be found. How can you be so sure? Because I believe that Maya's innocent. That's all I have right now, my faith in her. So please, help me understand what happened. So you're defending her based solely on faith, even though you'll be punished for abetting the accused. That's right. All right, then. Your faith has moved me. I will tell you what I can. Are you sure about this, Lady Beh'leeb? Smiley.
My lovely wife is also a devout follower of Khura'In. As such, she is not one to make light of another's faith. But if I find that you have lied about your faith in Maya's innocence, I shall curse your entire family and all your disciples for the next 8 generations.
Hey! Leave Athena and Apollo alone, buddy. Interesting. She did seem pretty genuine there. I mean, it's easy to make a fictional character just really good at lying, I guess. But that seemed pretty genuine, so maybe my suspicion is slightly less cast. But I'd like to look at this photograph, please. A photo of the High Priest, his wife, Acolyte, Zeh'lot, and Maya. Very sweet. And there's her with the plume polisher thing. Ah, that's good. I don't know what the photograph behind them is about. There's this gemstone thing, TV, whatever's going on here. Just an absolute mountain of steamed herbs. 4 corn dogs, 2 dumplings, or something similar. Funny, the food I ate last night and this morning was a hefty plate of dim sum. Freaking love dim sum. These look a bit like the soup dumplings I had, actually. So these two just have the singular, like, diamond pattern on their forehead, which is kind of interesting. Oh, she was the one who... Okay, well then she probably is the killer. She's the one who's got the steel samurai thing. Look at Maya, she's so happy. She's like, hell yeah! Well, to be fair, it's a pretty rare trinket. It's not like she just got some old toy. Since Maya's in it, it must have been taken the day before the rite. I should ask Mrs. Enmy about it. Family photo added to the court record. Taken during the Feast of Blessings on the day before the rite. Seems, I wonder who insisted the photo be taken. I wonder if it was one of the victims, since they knew it would become, they were going to be murdered later on or something. Oh, which I guess if Trust in Me, yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe he had this photo taken in the hopes that it would incriminate whoever was threatening to kill him. Anyway, otherwise it seems like just too perfect timing. To think that this would be their final family photo. That no-good Maya Fey has some nerve! I mean, here she is posing with the 2 men whom she would soon kill. I beg to differ. I see this photo as proof that she didn't kill them. That smile of hers does not fool me. I sense a deep and abiding malice behind it. I'll prove Maya's smile's the real deal. Hell yeah, you will. Most of the other scanning stuff is pretty the same, except for this now that we know the identity of these 2. Pictures of the Queen and her husband, the Justice Minister of Khura'In. Yes, my mother and my father. What do you think? Do they not possess an awe-inspiring air? Oh, terrifying is more the word I would use. Well, yes, they are very awe-inspiring. Here's the old envelope, still there. Barbtet, it appears you are quite fond of rummaging through the garbage. I just thought there might be some other important piece of evidence in here. Oh, is that right? Look, I'm not doing this for fun, really. Doesn't look like there's anything else of interest in there. Bet it's bikes. Anything new to say about this? What is this scary-looking spiky thing? It is a floor cushion for heightening a practitioner's mental focus. Your ignorance astounds me. There's not a soul in Khura'In who would not recognize this. A floor cushion? You mean you're supposed to sit on this? How else would you suggest it be used? Looks like a torture device to me. Brings me back to the space station where he's looking at the gravity, the gyro whatever thing, and he's just like, oh, anyway I look at it, all I see is torture device. That was a funny gag. It's been brought to mind. Wait, if I scan the TV, do we watch the plume bunch thing again? Yeah, we do. Oh, it's so weird. Well, if not proving that she's the killer, or, you know, the rebel, I would imagine that this is, at the very least, going to be proof that, if someone's like, I heard the Steel Samurai theme, that foreign thing, then we'll be like, well, she had the Plume Punisher one, when they were all still alive. Anyway, let's actually talk about your dead foster son. How did Acolyte Zeh'lot end up living here as your husband's disciple? About 2 years ago, while my husband was at a spiritual retreat in the mountains, he came across Pare collapsed on the ground. That's when he brought him here. 2 years ago, right? So perhaps he was the rebel hunter? Oh, what if Lady Beh'leeb is a rebel, and she knew that either her husband or her foster son was the rebel hunter, but she wasn't sure which, so she killed them both. No, anyway, sorry. I shouldn't be trying to guess the twist really at all, because I was so dead certain that Pere was the killer the whole time. Although that would be absolutely wild if it turned out that he was the one who killed Abbott and me, and then so someone else killed him. There were actually two killers. He came across Pere collapsed on the ground. That's when he brought him here. You were always one to help those in need, weren't you, dear? And he'd been living here ever since. About 2 years ago. It's around the same time I arrived in Khura'In. Yes, he was born in a poor village and had nowhere to call home. My husband felt pity for the boy, so he took him in as his disciple. But not only as his disciple, he was like a member of our family, too. I see. If this is where Zeh'lot lived, there might be something I could learn about him lying around here. Something more that I didn't already scan, or just I guess maybe whatever it would have been I already have. Very good, I'll head off to the murder scene, goodbye! At least everyone's gone. So they don't have to just sit next to a dead body. Right, because the prayer's over. May 11th Plaza of Devotion! Someone's left some flowers. Looks like the police already finished their investigation. Would they have left the chalk, if so? He was killed in the prayer position, by the look of it. To think someone would be killed here, a place devoted to prayer. Does kind of suggest whoever did it was a rebel, or had a lack of faith. Even someone willing to murder, if they were a devout Khura'In, this would not interrupt us, I'm pretty sure. Body outline and flowers. Did someone leave them here in memory of the deceased? And there's something different about the prayer flags today. Oh, they put another one where that blue one was missing. As the High Priest's disciple, Acolyte Zeh'lot was utterly devoted to his training. First the High Priest and now his devoted disciple. Maya Fey will pay for this. As I keep trying to tell you, Maya has nothing to do with any of this. And you can prove this. How? What do you think I'm doing here? Gathering dirt and dust for the trial? You and your smart mouth. This is precisely why you and your lawyerly ilk are so reviled. Hey, Mr. Wright! Hey, Mr. Wright. Emma. It's that detective from your country again. It's the princess. You seem displeased that I am here. Oh, wait, no. Don't be silly. Mr. Wright, I'm so sorry about what happened to Maya. It's not your fault, Emma. You were just doing your job. And if I had just done mine. Mr. Wright, but it's no use crying over spilled milk. Would you mind telling me what you know about the murder? It's do or die in court tomorrow, and I mean that literally. Gladly. I'll help in any way I can. Yay! Good to hear! Remember, I have my eyes on the both of you, so see to it that you commit no misdeeds. You know, Emma, if we both bum rushed her really fast, we could just throw her off the mountain, pin the third murder on whoever did the first two. Of course not. You're talking to a professional here. How dare you question Emma's authenticity in her forensics? So what the hell is with this? This prayer flag looks much newer than the rest. Your benevolence? What does it say here? The dearest wishes of our subjects are written upon these prayer flags. Reading the prayers of others is considered rude, but if you must know... It says, at the usual spot, bring grub, the key to. That is one of the more direct and practical prayers I've ever seen. I wonder if it's even a prayer. A brand new flag added to the court record. A key. Why do I feel like I should know about a key already? I'm probably thinking of the first case. That seems mildly pertinent. Let's look at this rope. Acolyte Zeh'lot died bent over in prayer. There's no trace of blood on the ground, though. The fact that there's so little bleeding could mean it was a single stab to a vital point. Not that that would have been very difficult, considering the position he was in. So these flowers were left here in memory of Acolyte Zeh'lot. What are they called? They are known as Namanda, and they are given to express sorrow when a life is lost. I don't think we've ever seen this animation before. Or no, we have, I guess, but she usually bows with it. It seems offering flowers in memory of the dead is universal practice. Namanda flower added to the court record. A flower to the Khura'In is used to pay tribute to the departed that expresses heartfelt sympathy. Already 3 new pieces of evidence. Very curious indeed. I love those bouncing synth notes. Oh! Yeah, well that's cool because... That's basically the version in Ace Attorney 4 did the same thing, except it wasn't quite so poppy. But it did something similar with bouncing synth notes, right? Like there's the do-dit, 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 boop, 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 boop. Anyway. What am I scanning this for? Acolyte Zeh'lot was killed in a prayer pose. With his head bent over like that, the last thing he saw must have been this rug. It is a prayer rug woven by devout monks. May the Holy Mother's blessing be upon his departed soul. It's strange that there are no bloodstains, though. Perhaps it was so cold his blood froze, or perhaps it was absorbed by his vestment. It is pretty cold. Maybe the blood really did just freeze inside his body. I think that it's probably is harder to freeze blood than water. It'd have to be like -30, wouldn't it? At what temperature does blood freeze? I guess it probably depends in some capacity on the individual's state of nutrition? Maybe not. Because that would alter the amount of like iron and stuff in your blood, I guess. This is like one of those questions that a murder mystery writer Googles and then viewers are going to get put on a list. At what temperature does human blood freeze? I am totally wrong. -2 Celsius it would start freezing. And -3 it would probably completely freeze. I expected it to be way lower than water. It's virtually the same. Let's chat, my friend. Actually, is there anything else I can show ya? Wow. Apparently I don't know that bit very well. Nothing new. The incident! Let's see, how about starting with an overview of what happened? Sure. The victim is Zeh'lot. Zeh'lot, right, sorry. Zeh'lot. He was the High Priest's disciple. His body was discovered around noon today, right after the rite wrapped up. How suspicious. So during the High Priest's murder trial. That's right. Apparently he had been here praying since the day before the rite even started. Talk about serious devotion. Yeah, that barely lasted a few minutes. I think it was more like 12 seconds, my friend, before you were sleep darted or whatever. This is a picture of Mr. Zeh'lot's body. Oh, gruesome, right through the friggin' spine. That dagger wound in his upper back looks like it would have been particularly painful. He's got a tattoo of a peach? Or a radish? On the back of his neck? Oh! Oh! I just noticed something. I feel so smart. It's not a peach or a radish. It's the same mark as he has on his face. But they filled it in to make it look like a peach or radish. So he wanted to hide that he was secretly a clergyman, I guess. To what end, I guess I can't yet say. How interesting. Or, unless it wasn't him, maybe the killer drew it on to hide he was a clergyman. I don't know why that would happen, but I reckon that's where this is going, right? Because if you ignore the pinkish and greenish bits, it's the exact same mark he has on his face. I knew I recognized it. Oh, that's interesting. Is that a tattoo on the back of his neck? It's peach-shaped? I don't think so, Nick. Everyone started leaving when the praying was finally done, but the victim remained bent over in prayer. And when they went over to check on him, they discovered he was dead, right? Yeah, it does seem like I could buy there being no blood if the stab was made that cleanly. Killed in the plaza of devotion. Crime photo Zeh'lot, sorry. He has a peach-shaped tattoo on the nape of his neck. Yes, the estimated time of death is May 9th, sometime between the start of the rite and the discovery of the High Priest's body. Ooh, sorry, May 9th? In other words, we believe the crime took place during the purification rite, and the murder weapon was the same ceremonial dagger that killed the High Priest. The prosecution believes... So was he dead when we saw him? Oh, that's creepy. The prosecution believes Maya came down the stairs after killing the High Priest and then stabbed Mr. Zeh'lot with the same dagger. Circumstantial evidence does point to Maya, but... What about the cause of death? He apparently died instantly from the dagger that was left thrust into his upper back. Here's the autopsy report. Seems unusual you would stay in that position after being stabbed in the spine, but, well, that's what the photograph shows anyway. That does mean he was dead when we were investigating. Oh, that's creepy. That's really disturbing. Estimated time of death, you say? How can you know such a thing? I want to know. Well, barbed head, out with it. Oh, so the Princess of the Spirit Medium Kingdom is interested in forensic science? I have no interest in science, forensic or otherwise. Nevertheless, I will someday be queen. As such, it would be wise to know what silly things the common folk believe in. There's nothing silly about it. I'll have you know, even Prosecutor Salmani holds forensics in high regard. Does he? Perhaps I should not underestimate the power of science. Still, I suppose it is nothing much compared to the divination seance. She really doesn't have an adorable bone in her body. Emma, I think she's actually interested. Would you mind explaining it to her? I guess I have to now. Okay, there are many ways to estimate the time of death, but the most well-known method uses the change in body temperature. Interesting. So adorable when she props up her glasses. Everything she does is adorable. Unlike Rafa, Emma does have several adorable bones in her body. In fact, I would say the majority of her bones are adorable. But enough about that. Body temperature drops at a steady rate from the moment a person dies. That means we can tell how long someone's been dead by measuring their temperature. I see. That was quite enlightening. Barbed head, present your forehead now. What? Why? So she can write it down. You feel just a little over 95 degrees. It seems you are not dead yet. Of course I'm not. It is but a jest. After all, you're still the dead lawyer walking. I fail to see the humor in any of this. Poor Phoenix. Were there any witnesses? With so many people here at the plaza, you'd think somebody was seeing something. You'd think so, wouldn't you? But we haven't found a single witness. They were all absorbed in prayer or threatened, I guess. How is that even possible? No, but even if they were threatened, if they were devout enough to prayer for 2 days straight, they probably would be devout enough to denounce a murder here. Because everyone was bent over, utterly devoted to prayer, naturally. Oh, right, the back-shattering pose that nearly killed me. Still, you'd think someone would have noticed something. I thought so too, but with the monk's scarf he had on, no one could see the dagger in his upper back. What? This one? Oh, I guess it was removed by the forensics team? Plus, everyone was so absorbed in prayer they didn't see or hear anything. I can't believe this. What you choose to believe is your choice, but the fact remains there were no witnesses. However, there is one piece of irrefutable evidence. The dagger. Sadly, yes. Oh yeah, I guess it does point even more to Beh'leeb that... Didn't Maya even say something like Beh'leeb washed her clothes while she was there? I don't know, one way or the other, if they were living in the same house, Beh'leeb would have had some ways to gather her fingerprints. And I'd be willing to bet they were pretty easily traceable ways. If this country doesn't have a forensics team on the police force, then she wouldn't have had to worry about a forensics expert coming in and determining how the prints were planted. So she probably didn't know about Emma. Emma was coming. And how would she? Could you tell me about the murder weapon? The killer used the Warba'ad dagger, the legendary weapon of Lady Kee'ra. It was discovered impaled in the victim's upper back. The accused's fingerprints were found on the dagger, were they not? Yes, they were. Warba'ad dagger modeled after the Warba'ad, said to have been used by Lady Kee'ra. I don't know why something seems off about it to me, but visually it seems all on. With such irrefutable evidence, there is no questioning the accused's guilt. I guess something worth questioning would be whose blood is on the dagger. If it was found in Zeh'lot, you'd expect at least his, but was Trust's blood also somewhere on it? If we're saying Maya stabbed him so hard he exploded all over the statue, then you would have some blood on the hilt, right? Trace or otherwise. Not so fast. What about a motive? Maya had no reason to kill Acolyte Zeh'lot. What did the police think about this matter? I imagine they assumed that because she was coming down, and he was only a recent convert, according to them, not according to me, because I know about the friggin' mark on his neck. They might throw the argument that, well, he wasn't as devoted as the other one, so he looked up when she came down, and then she had to kill him. That's what I'm betting they're gonna say. Maya had no reason to kill Acolyte Zeh'lot. So you say, but let us now hear what the police think about this matter. The police believe Maya is the Lady Kee'ra figure who has been battling the rebels, and since Mr. Zeh'lot was the disciple of the High Priest who turned out to be a rebel, he too was likely a rebel and therefore met the same untimely demise as his teacher. I could have sworn that in the paper, aren't they just tied up and not dead? This does not seem like the Lady Kee'ra Rebel Hunter's MO. Because if they were dead, they would have no reason to be tied up. So I assume these ones aren't dead. Yes, that is how the police currently view this crime. There's no way Maya's that Lady Kee'ra vigilante. I agree on a personal level, but the police are just going with what today's trial concluded. I really blew it in court today. Okay. That message on the prayer flag seems a little weird, but I think I've seen everything there is to see around here. You have not found or heard anything of particular worth. Are you ready to give up? No, I'm not calling it quits just yet. How can you possibly say we have not found or heard anything of worth? A photograph of them the day before the murder, a suspicious prayer flag, we've got the autopsy report, learned about a tattoo in a country where tattoos mean a position of religious importance, And we have the murder weapon. How can you possibly say we found nothing of importance? Does it look like you have any hope of winning, Mr. Wright? Emma. I can't really say at this point. All I know is that I have to keep investigating. What are you two sneaks up to? I would advise you to get back to work if you are done here, detective. Otherwise, I will report you to Prosecutor Sadmati for dereliction of duty. I'm going! Well, see you later, Mr. Wright. And good luck. Thank you, Emma! I should really pay a visit to everyone in every place connected with this case. Indeed, let's! Next time on Ace Attorney Spirit of Justice, because that is all for now. We've got a good start into this investigation sequence here. Investigate the second murder, talk to Beh'leeb about the family photo. Oh, I could have showed it to her when I was there, I guess. Silly me. But I take that to mean more or less that we've probably examined everything that really need to be examined around here. So off to Beh'leeb's house we go. I'm actually even more excited of a totally normal disposition and entirely ambivalent towards the second part of this trial than I was to the first one, because this double murder feels like it's shaping up to be an even more interesting setup, what with the scene now being extended to this, basically this entire mountain. So are they really, I mean, they threw Anonymous slash Dat's a Rebel out of the individuals list, so I guess they're just saying, screw it, he's not a part of this anymore, but that seems a bit quick to me. But I guess maybe I'm not convinced if it's their way of saying, trust us, he's not part of this, or if that's just, it's a red herring and they're gonna just put him back in here in a minute and be like, yeah, he actually was the killer or something. But Beh'leeb is seeming more suspicious to me than by the second. I'm not sure if I believe in her. But that is all for now, so thank you so very much for coming around to this episode of Ace Attorney Spirit of Justice. Next video going to the channel is going to be some more Fireman 3 Houses Are Verdant Wind Assassins Only Run! But, oh, actually, I gotta be careful, because there are only like 5 more episodes of that to go, so won't be saying that for too much longer. We'll be starting Wii Sports soon. Holy Mother help me. Thank you so very much for coming around. Hopefully I will see you around. Admiral's gonna be out of here now. Peace! Someone a bit more physically defensive. I mean, boy, it makes sense. To finish it off, that way we don't have to worry about the one with the gambit. Sorry about it, Happy. Right, sorry. There we go. Resume what you were doing. I wonder what that all had to the left now all of a sudden. You get Happy, I guess?